Hey there, Reverend Sully, Eric O'Sullivan, ordained on the internet. The caveat, as always, please do not burn your hands holding on to my hot takes. If you do, well, that's on you, pal. Today, a little bit about comic books. Oh, I'm having some coffee too. This is some superior Ethiopian Guji, freshly roasted, freshly ground, freshly brewed. Oh, that's good stuff. Thank you, Dell. And comic books. I love comic books. I grew up reading comic books. I have a huge collection that's moldering in my basement that I have no place for in my life because the narrative direction changed. Everything in comic books had to change because what once was a boys thing, boys can't have anything anymore. Yeah. And, or we're being trying to be sold on that illusion. But a big thing about comic books is it's boring. It's really robustly boring. And it's, what we call legacy characters and retreads. There are barely any original ideas anymore. There are just it's going in circles. Legacy characters are basically taking someone like Superman and then giving them a family, such as Supergirl, Superboy, Superdog, Super Monkey, Super Horse, Chinese Superman, a person of color Superman from the multiverse, Superman, son of Kal-El, Superman 2, and now the identity politics of their sexual orientations, and there are very little stories. They keep retreading the same thing, and I think I've got it figured out. Why does this happen? Well, going into the 21st century, we are into the 21st century, idiot. Let's see. There's intellectual property rights and creator rights, and now with the DC Comics and with Marvel Comics, they're owned by mega corporations and who have unlimited legal resources. They will never run out of money regardless of how little you buy. Just think about it. Their bank accounts are so huge. These bank accounts have interests, a daily interest that builds daily. They'll never lose money. They'll never not be successful. Like my pittance of buying their comic books weekly and not buying it anymore, it doesn't matter. Not one bit. I don't matter. You don't matter. But what matters are creator rights and paying out creators in perpetuity. And such as when you see the creators of Superman, Siegel and Schuster and their families, or the creators of Spider-Man, and the legal wrestlings over time between what is owed to the estates and families and the creators of the properties. They're at a point where creators no longer strive to make great content and great new characters. Why? Well, because they're not going to get paid out over time. They're going to lose their rights over time. The paradigm has switched from magazine publications to something such as the movies and who gets attributed the creative rights and how do they get paid out. So, cui bono? What's in it for a modern comic day creator in the early 21st century if their contribution to the story and into the overall mythology of these characters doesn't get respected? No, it's easier just to Hey, we have Girl Superboy now. Hey, we have Girl Wolverine now. Yeah, there's a female clone of Wolverine, and now she's Wolverine too. Not Wolverine 2, but she's also Wolverine. There's a girl version of Hawkeye. Clint Barton Hawkeye, the Archer of the Avengers. And she's better and snarkier, and he's just, the butt of her jokes. And then there's, just so it's easier just to make different, diverse, and inclusive versions of pre-existing characters. It's easier to do that than to make dynamic new characters with agency and their own identities. Because the creators know that they're not going to get paid out over time. What's in it for them? These comic creators' jobs are, well, they're low paying, and they're, you wonder why the story output is awful these days, and the artistic quality is awful, and the cover price is awful. I mean, it's so high. For kids don't buy comic books. What kid can afford a $6 funny book? That's why manga is doing better. You can buy a quantity of stories at a decent price, and it's better entertaining. It's got action, it's got heroism, it's got dynamism, it's got great art, and just the only thing that's going to save American comic books is a complete failure and a complete reboot. It happened before in the 50s, when Western comic books like shoot 'em ups, gunslingers, and cowboys took precedent over superheroics. And there were very little superhero stories. There was Batman, there was Superman, and there was Wonder Woman comic books, but superheroes didn't come back until the early 60s in the space age. What's in it for modern creators if what they create, they're not going to have a piece of the pie, that it's part of some, corporate brand? And, these are supposed to be entertaining stories for everyone, not just for boys, but for everyone. And we don't have that anymore. I mean, we're not allowed that anymore. And that starts, basically from the top. There are sources for good entertainment, for the good escapism, and it's in the independent realm. And if you can find it, support it. And I support some independent comic books. But I just can't fall for the sheer factory awfulness of this. It's just output. It's content. It's not. There's nothing to it. There's no heart. There's no soul. It's just, here's a girl version of a pre-existing man character, and she's better. I'm done with it. And so are a lot of readers. And where are these new readers that are supposed to replace us? Why aren't they spending their money? Well, there are complicated answers to that have to do with federal subsidies that respect social change. So being a failure is being a success. And but that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, comic books. And why all the retreads? Why isn't there anything new and original and dynamic and interesting? Why can't creators come up with anything original? Well, cui bono. What is in it for them? How are they going to see a success for what they've contributed to these stories? There's very little in it for them besides this momentary job that pays lousy, that doesn't have very good, benefits. and that just it's gonna be gone in a few years too. So yeah. So what do you think about today's video? Give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like this kind of content. I pay attention to all of the comments that I get, and I want to hear what you have to what you think about this. Also, give me a subscribe if you like this kind of content. I'm a chef. I make professional level cooking videos, restaurant quality, so you can make delicious, nutritious, and beautiful food to impress your loved ones at your table. Sharing meals is a wonderful thing, and it's not, to be, it's not overrated one bit. And value this time you have together with your loved ones over meals. And I'm also a spiritual person. I'm an amateur theologian, and I also make a Sunday sermon, and I talk about spirituality. This is a damn good cup of coffee. So please, give a subscribe if you can. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. God bless and namaste. And avoid modern comic books. Cui bono? What's in it for you? They're gonna hog up your personal space. They're not gonna have. Are they gonna have a resale value? I mean, do they have any good stories, or is it just a retread on a retread? How many times can you retread a tire before you don't get a good ride on your car anymore, huh? You tell me. Cheers. Thank you.